Hello and welcome back into RedHawk Rewind. I'm Tim Carey.
And I'm Dave Meyer.
And this is episode number 2, so we have not been canceled yet.
Tim, did you actually think we would make it to episode 2?
I had my doubts, but I was looking for different co-hosts all week and nothing came through, so here you are.
Did you get any weird comments from anybody when the podcast came out?
I was walking with you in Madison and people literally said, "Hey, I like the podcast." And it would be really cool if that was like on the street and like a Wisconsin fan. But even to hear that from anybody was pretty nice.
Well, I got 2. I got a text from my daughter that said we need to add subtitles to the whole video because her attention span is about 1 second. So, hey, Will, if you could add some subtitles. And then the second one was from my father-in-law, texted me and goes, "Oh, so this is what you do all day at work." So everybody's learning all kinds of stuff about me.
The 24-hour podcast. Yeah, it was cool to go and, see it on different platforms. People liked it or seemed to like it, or at least the people that didn't like it didn't tell me that. So, like I always say, please review unless you don't like it, and then don't.
Fair. So we went to Wisconsin this weekend with football. How was your weekend, though?
It was fine. I had heard stories about the press box and jump around, and I survived that. But it was pretty cool because you could feel it shake, and that's what people said, and that's what you told me. You did mention something about how it might feel like it was going to fall over, and I was glad that did not happen on that day.
I try to explain it to people, but when they do the jump around, it really does. It sways where you do feel like you are going to tumble over. It's a really crazy, crazy feeling in a press box that you don't have anywhere else.
Yeah, it was cool to be at a stadium I hadn't been before. The press box seems like it would be pretty easy to find, except I was with you. You know where that story's going. And it was supposedly up the ramp. This was the day before the game, and we're just kind of walking around, and there were 2 ramps. Neither ramp got us close, and where I thought it would be to just walk here and go up the elevator did not seem as interesting to you as walking in circles around ramps. And then the next day, guess what? We walked to the spot and walked up the elevator, and there it was.
So, okay, listeners have to understand here. Tim and I are very, very different people where Tim likes to have everything mapped out perfectly. It is exactly, everything is put together. Me, we just kind of figure it out. And so Tim's just along for the ride. But anything else happened this weekend for you at all? Have fun?
The problem with that, why would I follow you around if I'm the one that's playing? That's the part that I've never understood about you and me.
All right, so I'm almost 47. I think you're older.
Half of that, yeah.
But we need to get our steps in, and so you haven't thanked me yet for all the ramps that we walked up and down looking for the press box. But hey, we got there.
Dave, I'd like to. No, I wouldn't. My weekend was good after Wisconsin. I think I got back to campus at 9 in the morning. Cross country started at 9:15, and I saw the take off from the line. Friday was cross country. Saw some field hockey. Sunday I was at Miami soccer won. In between, a little bit of time off and watch some college football on TV. I have nothing to complain about.
So, life of an SID right there, right? Get off the bus at 9, go straight to work at 9:15. We had field hockey that day. It's all kinds of fun. But tell me a little bit about our guest.
So we have Chelsea Williams here. She last year led Miami volleyball in points per set, kills per set, total kills, closing in on 500 career kills now, and coming off of a huge weekend, Miami volleyball 3-0.
All right, here we go. Let's bring her in.
Welcome back to RedHawk Rewind. We are here with our special guest, Chelsea Williams, a junior outside hitter from Hawthorne Woods, Illinois, on the Miami volleyball team. And welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me on.
Big weekend last weekend.
Yes.
First matches of the season, and not only winning all 3, but straight sets, 3-zip in each one.
Right.
Kind of give us your perspective on first weekend and what you liked the best.
Yeah, it was a super, super successful weekend for us. We worked really, really hard in preseason to have that weekend. We went in ready to fight, and they were 3 really good teams. They did not make it easy on us, but we went in and did our jobs, and it ended up being a really, really successful weekend for us. And for me personally, it was actually a really interesting weekend because I played a position I don't normally play. I played on the right side, which I've never done in a game before. And so it was a really, really special weekend because it actually ended up going really well. And that's probably what I'm going to be doing moving forward for at least a few games here, and so I'm very, very excited about it.
Well, I got to follow up with that. What is the
Yeah.
difference between playing the left side and the
Mhm.
right side?
So the left side is on the left side of the net.
I got that part.
Obviously, right's on the other side. And your role is just a lot different on the outside. You are passing. A lot of outsides play 6 rotations, so you're playing the back row as well. And you're blocking the other team's right side, which is a completely different movement than on the right side. You're blocking the other team's outside. And so it is just different technique, different movement. So, at first it was a little uncomfortable because everything's kind of backwards. You're going the opposite direction. But luckily enough, Dan has us practice both. All of us pins practice on the outside and the right side. So when I went in, I had some reps there. So I kind of knew what I was doing. And, as the season goes on, I'll continue to get more and more reps and develop there and get the technique down and get a lot more comfortable because it was a little bit uncomfortable at times.
A little like looking into a mirror, I'm guessing. But is it
Right.
like driving on the other side of the road where like you have one of those moments like,
Yeah.
wait, which pin am I supposed to go to?
Yeah, I definitely made some mistakes. I was like, oh, wait, I'm supposed to go the other way. But, yeah, he has us do both in practice. So it wasn't too uncomfortable. I did get it down pretty quick. So it was a pretty good weekend.
You started off, you're just talking about how the team went 3-0.
Hmm.
This team has had its struggles the last couple of years.
Right.
I know it's just one weekend, but did you
Mhm.
start to feel like a shift maybe with Miami volleyball?
For sure. The whole vibe of the weekend was so much more calm and collected, and we felt like we were up because we were, score-wise, we were up the most of the time. And so the whole vibe of the weekend was so just calm and confident. Everyone had their roles. They knew what to do. And, we all did our jobs, and it ended up working out for us. And it felt very promising, and it gave us a lot of confidence, especially going into our next big game on Wednesday against Ohio State. It gave us a lot of confidence going into that, so we're all really, really excited about it.
You're closing in on 500 career kills. I think you had match high 15 against SIUE and then 13 against Indiana State.
Mm-hmm.
This is never a feeling I'm going to have in my life, but what goes through your head, or what is the emotion like when you get a kill in a college volleyball match? Because you've had some practice at it.
I mean, it feels pretty electric. It's definitely you feel very proud of yourself, especially when you get a game where you get into those double digits. It feels really, really great. And I'm so lucky to have the best teammates who cheer for me, and we all love cheering for each other when we get a kill or a block or whatever it may be. And it really does, it boosts your confidence. Even just one kill, you get one down and your vibe is right back up to the top. So it's great.
Sure. Tim wants to talk about offense. I like defense.
Mhm.
When you get a big block, I think you had 6 of them this weekend.
Mhm.
When you get a big block, how hard is it to not just like look through the net and just taunt your opponent?
It's tough. Especially if you've got a hitter that's been, hitting at you, tooling you, getting some points on you. When you get a big block on them, sometimes it's tempting. You want to look through the net and be like, haha, I got you. But we keep it nice and sportsman-like.
It's good. You've had a couple of years of experience here. I think I counted up 5 people who played in all the sets this weekend that were first year RedHawk.
Right,
So
yes.
what has it been like kind of blending this team together, and how did your off-season trip going to Europe, being able to take everybody over and get some experience, how did that kind of help set you up for a good first weekend and season?
Yeah, for sure. I think 100% that Europe trip did a lot for us. Getting the freshmen in and getting them comfortable with the team and getting reps together, it really did make a difference. And we have 4 amazing freshmen. They jumped right in. They have so much life and confidence, and they're just the funniest people ever. So we got lucky enough that all 4 of them blended really, really well with us, and they jumped right in, and they were ready to play and ready to fight for a spot on that, starting 6. And like you said, 5 of them did it, including the transfers, of course. And they really did make a really great impact for us. So they'll continue to develop and work their way into the team. But so far, I mean, they just jumped right in. And really, they didn't really have to adjust too much. They just got it right away.
Okay. I've never left the country. I don't even know what that's like. What are a couple of the highlights from the trip over in Europe?
For sure. So we started in Italy, and we were lucky enough to get a ton of time to explore around. We played 2 games in Italy and 1 game in Greece. And so the rest of the time we were just walking around, exploring Europe. It was super, super cool. I would say my highlight of the trip was in Greece. We went to Nafplio, and that was more of like a kind of beachy town. We spent a lot of time in the water, outside exploring around, and that was my favorite destination, but the whole trip was super, super cool. The culture over there, the food over there, music, everything, it's so different. And it was super, super cool to see.
Best food that you ate in Italy or Greece?
Tim stole my question because I love food.
Let's see. I had a really, really great Greek salad, which I have never tried a Greek salad before, and we got them multiple times in Greece, and it has quickly become one of my favorite foods. I was a big, big fan of that. I would say in Italy, I had a really, really great pesto dish, pesto pasta. It was delicious. I had to share it with a lot of my teammates because they wanted to try it, but I would say that was my favorite.
Tim, I'm hungry. I don't know. I could go for some pasta right
Can
now.
you do a good Greek salad on this side of the ocean?
I haven't tried it yet,
Sure.
but I think maybe I could get it down pretty well. It's pretty simple.
So, Chelsea, just talk to us a little bit. How did you get to Miami? How'd that process work?
Yeah. So, my recruiting journey started June 15th after my sophomore year. That's the rule that the college coaches are able to reach out to us. And Miami reached out on June 15th that night. And they ended up being my very first offer, and I accepted it before I got any other offers. So they offered me probably about a month after that June 15th rule, maybe a little bit more, and I accepted it a couple weeks later. My mom and I came down here just kind of on an impromptu visit just to see what Miami's like, and I just fell in love with it right away. I was like, this is the place for me. Like, hands down, the campus, the academics, the people, the environment, everything about it. I was like, this is my school, like, hands down. And I couldn't think of another school that if they offered me, I would have picked over Miami. And so I was like, well, this is it. And so I committed. And so I knew where I was going to college before my junior year of high school even started. But I couldn't be happier with my decision. I would never go back and change it. This is my favorite place ever. Every single day I'm walking to class and I'm like, oh, what a place to be. I just love it here. So, yeah, that's how I got here.
Did you know what you wanted to study even early on like that, or was that something that as you got to Miami and kind of like looked at some different options as far as what you wanted to go
I would
into?
say it was about the time that recruiting started that I kind of figured out what I wanted to do. I'm a kinesiology major, and so what I want to do with that has changed over the course of high school and college, but I picked that major pretty early on, and I still am like totally happy with my decision. I really, really love it. Before that, I kind of thought about going into business, which would have been great because Miami has such a fabulous business school. But I did make that decision pretty early on, and then as high school and college, I've gone through that. I've kind of changed my mind on what I might want to do with my degree, but I'm very happy with my decision.
You academic all MAC, academic all district. I mean, even in high school, like National Honor Society and all that stuff. So you've always been a good student, but what does that take? Obviously, it's tough being a Division I student athlete.
Right.
What has kind of been a secret of success for you in balancing all that and doing so well?
It's a lot of time management. With all of our travel, and especially being a fall sport, you get to school, especially freshman year, you don't really know what to expect from college, and you already have to miss 2 days of school on the first week because we're traveling for a tournament. And so there's definitely a learning curve. It took a lot of organization, time management, figuring out how I study best, and it definitely is different from high school. I've had to adapt a few new techniques. But a lot of it really is just staying on top of it, doing assignments as early as possible. And, you do have to sacrifice a little bit of your social life sometimes, but it's worth it, especially, you feel so much better when, you get a good grade on a test and then you have a game the next day and you're like, oh, I don't even have to stress. I can just play volleyball. So, yeah, it's not too bad. It's just it takes some time to learn how to do it.
Can I have you speak to my daughter? She's a freshman here. Time management.
Of course.
We're struggling with that. We may need to connect the two. I want to
Sure
go back to
thing.
your high school recruiting a little bit.
Yeah.
Tim and I actually talked to Coach Condit a couple days ago.
Oh,
Just to be
awesome.
like, hey, what could you tell us?
Mhm.
And all she kept talking about was when she went to watch you play in high school, that you just could, that you had a cannon of an arm, is what she kept saying. And you just, somebody would try to block and you would just hit it right through. What was it like? I mean, you're basically a Division I athlete,
Mhm.
but you're a junior year at high school and you're playing against high school. What's that like? What's that like?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, the difference between high school ball and college ball is so different. The speed of the game is so much faster. And really, a lot of our experiences, me and my teammates here, we all were some of the best players on our high school or club team. And you're used to always getting to play. You're used to being kind of the stud on your team. And then you come to college, and everyone here was a stud on their team. And so it's different, especially the opponents, too. Everyone on the other teams, they're all good. And so it's a different feeling, maybe not being the stud right away. And so it does take some time to learn the game. My freshman year, I kind of felt like I had to relearn, volleyball, because I knew I had my skills, but the whole feeling of the game is just so different. And so, again, there's a learning curve with it, just like anything else. But I would say after you're in for a few games, or, for some people it might take a little bit longer, but once you kind of get the feeling, then you can really work up your confidence again to where it was before.
We're filming this the start of September,
Mm-hmm.
Labor Day. I mean, you were telling us a little bit about your Starbucks. Like, give us like what you like to do for fun, or what your kind of go-to is now that we're kicking off fall.
Yeah, I would say, in my spare time, we take a lot of time to spend with our teammates. We do everything together. We're all best friends. And so we do things like take Starbucks runs. The pumpkin spice just came out, so we've been taking advantage of that. We like to bake together. Some of the freshmen who are still in the dorm, they like to come to the upperclassmen's apartments and houses and kind of get out of their rooms and make some food with us. We actually all started watching a show together. It comes out every Wednesday, a new episode every Wednesday. So everyone comes over, we all watch together.
I'm assuming that's not RedHawk Rewind.
It's not, but we could add that
Okay.
to the agenda.
Yes.
We appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank
Okay,
you.
gotcha. Yeah, so we really just like to hang out together, pretty chill. Since we're on the go all the time, in our free time, we do like to just kind of hang out and, nothing too crazy.
So for somebody that's never had a cup of coffee in their life, me,
hmm
if Dave, you got to go try this one, kind of what would that be?
All right, I'm probably not the person to ask because I am not an avid coffee drinker, only every once in a while. But my favorite is I get an iced coffee with 2 pumps of vanilla, and I think it's half a pump of heavy cream with a caramel drizzle. It's a very important part.
Tim, did you get that order? Because I'm going to need that repeated back.
It's like you get a cup of coffee and it takes you like 3.5 minutes to order it, just in the different things. And you didn't even sound like you were sure. Like, if you don't remember how many pumps it is, like, who's supposed to know?
I mean, it's pretty good. I think it's worth it.
The pumpkin spice thing definitely interests me.
Yeah.
But like, what are the odds I have 2 podcast co-hosts that have never had a cup of coffee? That's
Huh.
interesting.
Very true.
Well, some of my teammates they know a lot more than I do, so you might want to ask some of them.
Sounds like a good scoreboard intermission game or something.
Oh, for sure.
Speaking of September 3rd,
Yes.
Ohio State's coming. It's the home opener. Before we talk about kind of Coach Condon and the significant, like, just your first chance to be back in Millette for a while, playing in front of the home fans, like,
Yep.
coming off of a great weekend. What are you most excited about here?
I am super, super excited to play on our new floor. We have our new Terraflex court, and Dan let us help design it, and so we haven't seen it out yet, and so we're super, super excited to play on that. And it's a surface that, it's like the holy grail. All the volleyball players love it, and so I'm so glad we finally have it here. But aside from the floor, it's going to be a really big game. I think our coach said there's like over 4,000 tickets that have been sold. And so it's going to be super, super fun. And playing a Big Ten opponent, Ohio State, it's just going to be such an electric game. So we're very, very excited.
Complimentary tickets available thanks to
Correct.
the president, Dr. Crawford. The promo code, if CCDAY, you can use at MiamiRedHawks.com/promos.
It's well done, Tim. Good job.
I worked on that for like 3 hours in my head last night.
When's the last time you played in front of that kind of size of a crowd?
I have never played in front of that big of a crowd before. There have been a few games where we get a pretty decent crowd here, but nothing like this. I think this is going to be totally new for all of us, and we're super, super excited.
Neat to get to honor a legend, but
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Coach Condit was here for 40 years, but also somebody that you got to play for. So, like, tell me about just kind of that extra meaning and significance with you having had a chance to not just know of her in the past, but actually play under her.
For sure. I feel so incredibly lucky that I got to play under Coach Condit. Like you said, she's just an absolute legend, an incredible woman, coach, mentor. You know, she cares so deeply for all of us, even the players that didn't necessarily get to play under her. She cares just as much for them as she did for those that did get to play under her. So I feel very, very thankful that I got to do that. And, you know, there's a reason why she's being honored the way she is, because she's just such an incredible woman. And so I'm really excited that, you know, her name's going to be on the court. And, you know, she's all over Millette. Yeah, it's really, really special. I think she absolutely deserves every single honor that she's gotten.
So, before we let you go, we have a game that we want to try and play.
Okay.
And I worked on this. I did not tell Dave what it was going to be. There's a little bit of Miami volleyball trivia to get you ready for the home opener.
Okay.
But, I mean, Dave being an SID, I feel like he kind of has a little bit of an advantage, but I tried to pick stuff that he wouldn't know off the top of his head. So,
Okay, perfect.
this is fun with numbers. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back and forth. You try and guess the number. If you get it spot on, you win. The odds are not very good.
Okay.
And then the other person has to say either higher or lower to see if they can be closer than your guess, basically.
Okay.
So, you are the guest. Do you want to go first or second?
I'll go first.
Okay. We said you're closing in on 500 kills in your career, now just starting your junior season. So how many people in Miami history have put up 1,000 kills over their careers in the red and white?
Oh, boy.
So you give us the number, and then all Dave has to do is just be on the right side of it if you don't get it exactly.
All right, I'm going to go with 15.
Okay. 15 people in the 1,000 kill club. Higher or lower, Dave?
It's got to be more, right? I'm taking over.
It is over. It's 22.
Oh, wow.
Point for Dave.
I was pretty far off.
Okay.
So now, Dave, you got to start this
All
time.
right.
After 3 wins last weekend, how many all-time wins for Miami volleyball in history as of this podcast?
Coach Condit's got most of them. 700.
700. Higher or lower, Chelsea?
I'll say higher.
912.
Nice.
You're 1-1.
Man,
MUVB.
because Coach Condit's got like.
Okay, spoiler.
Yeah,
Next
yeah.
question.
Oh, ooh.
How many of those came under Coach Condit out of your 912 all-time wins? See, that's great minds.
It really was.
I'll say it's got to be around like 890.
890. Higher or lower, Dave?
She's at like 660, I think, right? Something like that.
So you're taking lower?
Taking the lower.
682. Point
Oh,
for Dave.
I thought she was there the whole time.
You know, what can you?
So you said you thought
got
you were
some
there
prior
most of the time.
knowledge.
How many head coaches has Miami volleyball had all time?
5.
You got it exactly. You didn't even get to guess.
Oh,
That was pretty good.
no fair.
Elaine Heber,
job.
Diana Ford, Peggy Bradley, Coach Condit, and Coach Quit.
Wow. Wasn't aware
Um,
of that history there.
See, this is very educational. Next
Very.
Tuesday, when you're
Even for
watching
me.
this with all your teammates on your show night before
Right.
Wednesdays, most wins Coach Condit ever had in a season.
Ooh. I'll say 25.
Higher or lower?
Higher. 30.
28.
Oh,
See, if you guess a different number, I feel like that should disqualify you from just being higher or lower. Like you picked a number that was
I'm just trying to show off at some point.
Yeah, well, that's a new thing. When's the first time, Dave, that Miami ever played Ohio State in volleyball? What year?
1991.
Earlier or later than 1991, Chelsea?
I'll go with earlier.
It was earlier, in 1976.
Oops.
I have no idea what the score is, but here's the last one. When's the last time Miami beat Ohio State in volleyball? Which has happened several times.
I'll go with 1979.
1979, later or earlier?
After 1979.
It was 1984.
Oh,
Ooh,
So here's your trivia. Ready?
close.
1984, Miami, Ohio State. Last time Miami beat Ohio State. Coach Condit's first match as Miami volleyball coach.
Wow.
And then this weekend, and then Wednesday, I get to honor her. So I should know what the score is, but I didn't bring a pen. You did pretty well. I mean,
it's close.
I think you might have
It's
beat me
close.
there.
it's 7 total, so we'll call it a tie. Is that what you're
I
saying?
think it was a tie, yeah.
All right. Bet.
Last one. I like to wrap up with something serious. So, if you look back in your life, what is the best piece of advice you've ever received?
I would probably say, so back in my high school days, my club was lucky enough to jump on a Zoom call with Lauren Carlini. She's a setter on the Olympic team, or previously was. And we got lucky enough to talk to her on a Zoom, and she told me something that really stuck with me, and it still does stick with me. She said, pressure is a privilege. And that mindset overall has been something that I really keep in the forefront of my mind, because we really are so lucky to be able to play and to get to feel nervous before a game. And, you know, it really is a privilege that a lot of people don't have. All of the dedication that we get to put in, the time, the effort, you know, it feels like a lot sometimes, but it's really something that so many people would just do anything to be able to do it. And so it's really, really important that we remember that we're so lucky to be here. It really is a privilege to be able to feel the pressure that we do. And so that's something that I always have with me.
Well said. I like
Thank
that.
you.
As we wrap up, you want to throw out social media accounts or anything? Do people follow you? I mean, mine's Tim Carey, so
course.
like I'm gonna get that out there. But
Let's see. My Instagram is Chels._Williams with 2 S's.
that's like as complicated as your coffee order.
It's like a password. So,
Chelsea Williams. It's a pretty common last name. I had to like mix up the username a little bit.
well, Chelsea, we really appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for
I
having
hope you had
me.
hope you had a good
I
time.
sure did.
And Tim, anything else you want to add?
No, next Tuesday, new episode of Red Hawk Rewind. We'll talk to you then.